Here is Barkley, left side, big hole, Saquon Barkley! Uh-oh! Barkley, goodbye! Dunk it in. Doncic, 47!
I'll give him a dunk. On a night you had 47 points, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Moss the back, Terrace the snap, Moss the block. Burrow going deep, he's got him! Touchdown! Jamar Chase!
LeBron leaked out, they didn't see him. Here he is down court. It's up and in! Will it count? LeBron James at the buzzer! 23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three. Bang! Bang! He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown.
Timeout, SGA. Probing. Piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go. Oh, hit, throw. Oh, come on! Justin Jefferson, you gotta be kidding. Makes it look so routine. Greatest catch that never existed in NFL history.
Edwards puts up a three. It's good! Anthony Edwards once again. Edwards electricity here in game 4. Here's a first and goal. And he's signaling as he backpedals to the 30. Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Baltimore!
He's in practice. Giannis says no. Back the other way, Trent. Giannis inside. At both ends.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the Sharp Side. Finally got a little intro video together. Shout out to my wife for actually putting that together. I've been talking about it for a while. Got that in. As always, we will recap yesterday first. 1 and 2 on the straights. LaMelo missed, which was just heartbreaking. 15 in the first quarter. Finished with 37 PRAs. Jalen Brunson cashed over 26.5. He had 30 the last time I checked in. Sweat-free. Steph also, I think, a 13 or 15 point first quarter and then couldn't get 24.5 for us. 1 and 2 yesterday on the straights. We did miss a LaMelo triple-double and a parlay as well, bringing us up about 5 units on the season. But I'm really excited to be up where we are right now when I feel like data's really starting to come in and I feel like our best bets are in front of us. So we'll get right into today. We have a 10-game NBA slate. Went through a couple different of these games. Props.cash has the new pinned back on the mobile device, so I've been using that this morning. I got a couple pinned that I want to look at, and then I've just been waiting for more and more lines to come out. We do have some questionables, and we'll get into all of that today. So we'll start with the first game here. No official bets out of me yet. First game, Houston at Toronto. Injury report. Jaylen Brown, questionable game time decision. He's been on and off, basically on the injury report all season long. I would lean towards he goes. Was it 2 days ago that they played? Oh, that's the Celtics game anyways. That's the next game. Sorry, let's go Houston-Toronto. Houston-Toronto. I believe Sengun's leading the team in usage percentage this year, although it's gone down in each game, 29-4, 27-3, 24-6. Let's go look at KD and Amon Thompson's usages. Sengun, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's usage has steadily climbed, which is letting me think Udoka knows what he's doing. Makes sense. That's been kind of Sengun's team. I know Jalen Green was there. But it looks like Kevin Durant slowly coming into form. Just 19 points last game, but he only had to play 25 minutes. Let me go see something real quick. Yeah, Houston won that game by 28. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line, 6 for 14 field goals made. We are now getting a decent amount. I'll have a sheet to drop every day that'll tell you which teams are going over, which teams are going under, who struggles in isolation, who struggles in, each category. and which players are excelling in each category. That's wrapping up now. I'm just getting enough data. The props.cash has the on the mobile, not the desktop yet. They don't have isolation data and stuff yet, but they do have zones. So Kevin Durant scoring about 28% of his points from above the break, 23% from the mid-range, and then 42% in the paint or under the basket. So he's pretty well spread out. Toronto's been very good above the break this season. Inside the restricted area, they've been awful, but pretty solid outside of that across the board. I'm intrigued by KD's usage going up. Just 25 minutes in that last game. How many field goal attempts? Keep in mind, now, Toronto's a much better defense than the Nets. What the Nets like to do, though, is they will blitz. They've done this again this year. It was like their MO last year. Toronto's not going to do that. I think he probably just pulls. Actually, let's talk about lineups here. With Houston going so tall, they're going to be Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and the center. Sandro. I saw a lot of people on his over 8.5 points. I think he can extend the perimeter a little bit. Who is going to be Kevin Durant's matchup? I guess it's Barrett, right? He's probably the best of those perimeter defenders. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I've got nothing on KD points. As I said, they've not allowed a lot of threes. I think that 2.5 line's kind of crazy. Nothing on KD. I do lean under Sengun PRs, but Jakob is questionable in this game, and that would definitely affect how I view this. So if Jakob goes, maybe I lean PRs under Sengun. Outside of that, nothing official there. 13, 19, 14, and 15 minutes have been steady. Potential assists have been kind of whack. Only 7 attempts in the last game versus San Antonio. Model projections here are literally right here, 16.5. So maybe I lean slightly over to that plus money, but nothing for me on Emmanuel Quickly in this one. Assist price is kind of crazy. Hold on, let me go see what I make that line. 6.3. I lean over. Actually, this minus 124 is quite intriguing. Let's go to the market. 156, I don't want anything to do with it. 124, we could have a conversation. Now, dating back to last year, I absolutely hated to take assists versus Houston. I will say that. They've got some different pieces on the perimeter, but they are athletic on the wing. I mean, they're tough. Wow. I mean, it looks like DraftKings is sitting there at 124. ESPN's at 130. I do like that over. I hate playing assist overs versus the Rockets, though. I hate it. Man, this is a close one. I do lean over here for Emmanuel Quickly's assists. The minus 124. Great conversion rate here. 7 to 16. 16's inspiring. Let's go look at some historicals versus this team this season. Cunningham gave him 9. I think I gotta run. Looks a lot less without Podol, but also the minutes are bad. What is my concern level here with that, though? What's the spread right now? 5.5. Okay, it's not awful. On the road. Houston on the road. Toronto's at home. Man, I don't know. Fuck. I'm going to leave quickly overs as a lean now, but it's close. It's close. Reed Shepard, 9, 9, and 15. What are his threes at? 180 is a crazy price. Okay, yeah. I don't hate him to get 3 at like super plus money. 175, but 133 probably wouldn't do it for me. You could maybe climb the ladder here, but I'm not very interested in the straights. Scotty Barnes has been a question mark for me all season. You see 22-7, 33-8. I understand here pretty difficult, could be a difficult matchup for any scoring in the paint, but Scotty's been all over the place this year. He's been a wagon for us in years past. I think that's why I've paid a little closer attention to him. Threes might be the best looking thing. Conversion's been pretty good, though. 2 for 4, 3 for 5, 2 for 4. I don't expect him to continue shooting 50% on the year. Scotty's been an oddball out for me this year, man. No opinions. Keep in mind, Brandon Ingram's there. They've been through a lot of turnover in the last 2 years. So Scotty's kind of changed the way he's played a couple times. Now, I'm not sure what Scotty's final role is going to be in that offense. Nothing for me there. KD, we talked about it. Houston coming off of a blowout. KD had 19 points in 25 minutes. We talked about who his matchup will be. It's probably going to be RJ Barrett. I guess I don't take that, if they don't play Podol, they got the rookie at center. I mean, that's the way I see it. Scotty could get this assignment, though. I think Brandon Ingram, they could switch off. There's no issues there. But, yeah, I don't know. 25.5 feels right to me. I don't think it's high. I don't think it's low. I think it's efficient. Might be able to steam chase a 24.5 off market, but I think this line's pretty close to accurate. Rebounds 9, 3, and 6. 6 rebounds in just 25 minutes versus Brooklyn. That price is kind of 152 is the best price. No, 143 on a straight. Not interested. Yeah, simply just not interested with anything Kevin Durant today. You almost have to throw this Brooklyn game out the window with any starters because all of them only played about 25 minutes. 16-11 was due for a big night, but it was belt to ass the whole game. Just 3 attempts. Again, he only played one half. Does he have 6 attempts in 2? I don't know. So you just got to throw that game out the window. Sandro is the one that's kind of interesting to me. I don't know a lot about him. I know with Jakob being out, that's going to really extend his minutes. I saw people on his points over. I wonder if this line moved a lot. I thought I saw someone on his threes over, but it might have been a lay. It might have been like, can we look at him on PRs? Yeah, we'll definitely get to him on PRs. Oh, that looks new, doesn't it? We'll definitely get to him on PRs. Yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on Sandro, but I've seen the community is on the over there. I don't bet. Looks like he's not a rookie. I don't know a lot about this kid, though. Was he in Toronto last year? Played about 10 minutes a game. Podol was in a lot of foul trouble, though, so, that should make sense. No opinions. Ingram, again, similar to Scotty Barnes. 16, 29, 22, 14. He's kind of been all over the place as well. I'm having a hard time deciding on one of these Toronto scores. Now, what we can do is this. Rockets, middle of the pack versus pick and roll ball handlers and in isolation. Looks like to me Brandon Ingram would have the best matchup in terms of scheme. Yeah, scheme. Jamari Smith Jr., yeah, I could see that being – it's definitely not going to be Sengun, so I'm not mad at Brandon Ingram over. I don't like seeing 11 attempts. I do not like seeing 11 attempts on a 19.5 line. How many free throw attempts, though? Only 4. I don't like that. I don't think you're getting consistency out of these guys. What I will say is I think Brandon Ingram, scheme-wise, has the best matchup here. If I had to choose between one of those Toronto players to score, it would be Ingram. And then my heart's still on a quickly assists over. Those are the 2 leans I have for Toronto right now. Amon Thompson, what did you say, PRs? PR overs. All right, 18, 10, and 12. Again, blowout. 4, 4, and 4. Lines 5.5. Super juice to the over. Chances have not been great. Matchup, I guess, will be quickly, but that'll still draw them away from the baskets. Are we looking at an under here? I don't like that they've just allowed every fucking point guard to go over. Is that what you're seeing? Every point guard's gone over? I'm kind of torn here on them on. I mean, quickly should be barbecue chicken. If they're down total, it's going to be, the basket's going to be easy to penetrate. I'm kind of seeing, if you're thinking points, I'm kind of getting there, but this one doesn't feel like a layup to me. I'm kind of getting there, especially if they're down total. Yeah. They're very bad in the restricted area. Okay, I see how you're getting here if you're thinking points over. Rebounds, I don't like it as much. I see the guards have gone over, but I don't like it as much. The rebound chances haven't been there. If you're looking at points, I'd feel points over. If you're looking at rebounds, a 6.5 under would be quite tempting to me at a decent price. At -160, no opinion. So, John, I'd lean over points under boards there. They're real bad in the restricted area. I think the points make more sense than the boards. Quickly still going to pull him outside of the perimeter. He's still operating outside of the perimeter on offense. Now, a lot of his points are coming in the restricted area. I agree with you there, but I think the points over makes more sense. No total. The points does make sense to me. I'm not going to lie. The points does make sense to me. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. But I don't like the rebounds. I like the points. I don't like the boards. Josh Okogie, 8, 10, and 10. He got extended run in that blowout, though. Put in 2 threes in that game. 1 three's priced horribly. Going to be nothing for me for Josh Okogie there. All right, moving on to Houston, or from Houston to Cleveland. Here's what I'll say about this game, and I might come back and play one of these, 2 of these. I'm not mad at Amon Thompson's points. I think it's close to right. It's a little over his average. I know it was short minutes last game, but I think that number is close to right. It's not a great matchup, but it's not a bad matchup. He's probably, 16, 17, 18, no surprises for me there. I think I would have needed to be just a little bit shorter on him, 14, 110 to play the over, probably 16, 110 to play the under, maybe 17, 110, honestly, to get to that under. I think 15, 16 probably where he ends up. Brandon Ingram, I'm not mad at the over. The over makes sense to me on the points. I just can't get there. He hasn't been consistent enough for me. Closest thing I have to a straight bet there is Quickly's assists. I'm not mad at the 124 on DK on a Quickly assists. All right, moving on to the Cleveland game. Jaylen Brown, we spoke about this, been on and off the injury report. Probably think he gives it a go tonight. Seems like he's played every other time, so keep that in mind. Quaid has been getting decent minutes. I feel like I really got to spend some more time watching Boston. I've watched him once or twice. They've only played 4 games, so it's not like I've missed a lot, but I haven't seen all of it. Really need to pay attention to the front court opposed to the back court. Luke Garza got 19 minutes in that last game, scored 19 minutes, scored 16 points. Pritchard's usage is staying pretty steady, 20 plus. Juicy on that 15 plus. There's a 118 out there at MGM. I would say Cleveland's defense has not been what we'd expect it to be. They are second in transition, 28th versus spot up. All of this is up on NBA Advanced Stats now. 11th in pick and roll. See, that line is crazy, though. You think his threes would have an edge, and then the books give you a price like that. It's almost good enough to make me want to play the under there. 7, 7, 8, and 7. Attempts have been steady. No, I mean, they're trash for a spot up, so I can, but it's tempting. Lonzo Ball in short minutes is just keeps smashing this line. I think 138 is getting a little too crazy on the price. But when he's in, he's like a full go. You know, they run the court. I mean, he looks great. I mean, just in a phenomenal six-man. Like, come playoff time, I think he's going to be such a huge piece. And they're smart. They're playing him 23 minutes. They want to have him in those playoff runs. When you're going from Garland, Mitchell to Ball and whoever, man, I mean, just the pace does not have to change. I really like this fit for him. At 23 minutes, I'm not – you think if he's a per 36 guy, you probably make this line like 7.5, right? He's pretty locked into that 23. It's a 3.5 point spread. I think that to me says JB plays. There's only one awful spread today, Nuggets Pelicans. And that's disgusting because I'd really like Jokic's over there, but I don't know if I can get to it. All right, that's off topic. On topic says, I really lean over here, but I have to just leave it as a lean. I have loved Zoe over 4.5. Cashed every game. Don't love it in this matchup, though. Agree. 100% agree. Yeah, nothing for me on Lonzo. We move. I think this game has Evan Mobley wrote all over it. Man, I think this game has Evan Mobley wrote all over it. We might be on this. This might be play number 1. Wow, this bitch has moved. Somebody fucking released this while we were on stream or something. What the fuck? What the fuck? Someone move this line while we've been on stream because I just refreshed this before stream. All right, well, we're going to get on this regardless. Fucking shit. Who's on this? I'm sure y'all seen on the timeline. Who's on this today? Someone big's on this. Tell me it's not Caruso. Yeah, I think they lock down the paint similar to how the Knicks have. I've got to look at this right now. Combos. We're on Mobley. I'm betting Mobley. Right now, Hard Rock has 31.5 minus 125. I can bet it there, so I'm going to. But I'm trying to find the best price for everyone else. I know Hard Rock's only in like 6 or 7 states. I mean, that was such an obvious spot. I mean, obviously that line moves. Yeah, the MGM line is fine. I'm going to check FanDuel your way. There's a good chance that's at about minus 124. Oh, I keep doing that. They don't do combos. All right, fuck it. Everyone. 32.5 is still fine. 32.5 is still fine. If we were a little deeper into the season, I think that'd honestly be a bigger bet out of me. Yeah, it would be. We'd probably be going full 2 units. I haven't had a 2 unit yet. I want to get a little more data. But they're coming. Yeah, bro. PRAs 31.5 or 32.5, both good to go. Both good to go. And I'm going to triple check. I mean, it's early season, so FanDuel may have incorporated some more alts. Let me check on that. Player combos. Man, 144. I at that point just play the 32.5 minus 05 at MGM. It's not worth it. All right, got that out. Let me get that up on the banner and we're good to go. Scroll across the bottom, add banner. Here we go. 32.5 is still good, but 31.5 is absolutely great at Hard Rock. Absolutely great at Hard Rock. I don't hate 30 plus. I know DraftKings and FanDuel do it. I don't hate that. If you're one of the guys that like to buy and parlay shit, I do not hate buying that spot down right there. I like PRs, points. I like all of it. Beautiful. Just a smash Evan Mobley spot. That was so obvious. Man, all these odds are shit. It's because they know it's a good spot for anything catch and shoot. Yeah, all of these are fucking terrible. Anthony Simons, we're gonna go into Anthony Simons. He's gonna have a crazy game soon. Hunter back, completely good to go. Played only 2 games this season. Looks like he's good to go. 26, 24 minutes. He's got 2 days rest now. I think it's a decent spot for him. I'm not going to have anything official. He's only played 2 games. But yeah, no, I think it's a good spot. Threes are heavily juiced. I think points are probably the better spot if you're looking to attack. This one, 25, 23, 41, then just 15 versus the Pelicans, only played 24 minutes. They won that game by 32 points. Looking at the mobile app, defense is like they're good in the paint. Everywhere else, they're pretty mid. Average versus a pick and roll ball handler. I'm not mad at Jaylen Brown over 23.5. I know he's questionable. Looks like these numbers are moving to 24.5. Let's check in on the market here. Points have got 23.5 FanDuel, 23.5 DK. Fanatics is 24. Okay, basically everyone is 23.5. Really looking at the board, looks like this number is going to continue to come down, honestly. Market seems to be liking the unders here. Nothing official out of me. I don't have a good read on this. Yeah, no. I think the field goal attempts will absolutely be there. He only had 9 in 24 minutes, so in a regular game, he probably has 15, 18, and 25. In the other games this season, 35 minutes in each. I mean, if you wanted to get just a historical, I'd say minimum of 15 is very fair here. Not made, attempted. My apologies. And right now, I feel like generally it's a good idea if you're going to have a floor to put a ceiling. Hard to put a ceiling right now on what to expect out of Jaylen Brown without Tatum, though. So, I think it's you just put a minimum and ride. And that's what we've got. Now, I'm not saying the Cavs are a bad defense in any realm of the thought. They're a good defense. Maybe not as good as we'd expected coming in, but you got to think Garland's still out. Hunter's missed 2 games. I see both sides to this Jaylen Brown. I'm more lean over, though. I definitely more lean over for JB. Keep in mind, this is nothing. That's playoffs with Tatum. He's in a whole different realm right now. I'm going to leave this as a lean for now. It definitely looks like the market's moving against me, but I definitely, if I had to play anything on JB, I'm going over. This is a tough read, too. Over in 3 or 4 this season, averaging 31.3. Boston's been fairly good versus pick-and-roll ball handlers, but is that matchup based? Cade got 27. Maxey got 40 on him, though. Poole, 22. He's not really a pick-and-roll. He is, though. 31. 34 out of edge come. I wouldn't necessarily say pick-and-roll ball handler. 29, yeah, I'm looking at it right now, John. I lean over, especially if Boston keeps this competitive. And the thing is, I'm already on Mobley's PRAs over. They do look real nice. Those don't look as good, but I don't think we're getting sub 30 tonight. Let's go look around, shop around. I'm not mad at the overs here. 29.5 painted across the board. FanDuel, best price to the over, though. That's usually a bad sign. That means this line could move. I think there's a chance we see 28.5 on this. I think if you want to bet his over, him being Donovan Mitchell, I think you wait. I think there's a really good chance you get 28.5 before tip-off. 2 more I want to talk about in this game, and then we can move. Derek White this season, 1-4, 25, 15, 15, 11. He got 31 minutes, but they put belt to ass to the Pelicans, so he might be a little more his minutes may be a little more locked in than some of the others, basically Jaylen Brown. No Jaylen Brown, I would be interested in with Jaylen Brown, I think I'd have some interest in Derek White. PRA unders. I know there are definitely people who I respect who have been betting his overs. And they've been the right reads, and he hasn't been efficient. 11, 9, 13, 3 points attempted this year. Potential assists look good. 9, 10, 13, 15 going up each game. Usage is strong. Attempts 20, 18, 18, 14. This was slightly less minutes, but pretty close to his average. Others played less. It's hard to get a good read on Derek White coming into the season. Usage has been good, but no, I don't think he's performed up to what anyone, including himself, thought he would be without Jason Tatum. So just my 2 cents. Going to be an interesting watch, I think, with Derek White. He's definitely going to ride this ship out. I think he's going to be a 17, 18 per game for them this season. I think he'll figure it out. Versus Cleveland, maybe not the best game to back him for the first time. Although I don't know who his matchup will be. I guess it could be Donovan. It's Donovan Mitchell, I think, is who it could be. Tyson on Pritchard, Hunter on Minot, or Mignot, whatever, Josh. Evan Mobley on JB, Jared Allen on – yeah, man, look at that Boston lineup, bro. Like, that line feels light to me. I know they've played well. That line feels light to me. They are bringing Simons off the bench, too. 25 versus the Pelicans, 32 minutes. He got some extra run in the blowout, but that's good for him. He needed to see one go through the hoop. 13, 10, 12, finally got a 20 ball last night. Usage was high. I'm sure a lot of that was second half. Props, will you tell me that? They will fire. Honestly, pretty strong in the first half too, though. I'm interested in Simons this year, man. I'm very interested in Simons. He's got to shake back. I still think that threes line is too high. But I do not hate him to get 15. Anthony Simons' points is a lean to the over, but that over lean for me is probably similar to a lot of other people's over lean for Derek White. I think he's just got to ride the wave. I think he's gonna have a good year. Be a good six man for them. Only the one official play there. I do lean over Donnie, but I think you can get a better price later in the day. But love that Evan Mobley, 31.5, 32.5. Both are good to go there. All right, let's move on to Orlando versus Detroit. This is Orlando -1.5, -2. I know Paolo's leading that team in usage. Points line feels a little high for Wendell Carter. I mean, I know it's juiced to the under. Other books are going 9.5. A couple 10.5s out there. That Wendell Carter points off rip feels a little bit high to me. 10.5, 122 at DK, 124 at Rivers, 136 at FanDuel, 130 at ESPN and Fanatics. Wendell Carter points under is definitely a lean going up against Durant. Technicals and foul trouble has just been the story for him. This is not a cupcake matchup for him. While Orlando's been another one of those teams, maybe the team, for me specifically, that I thought would be a lot better than they have been coming into the season. I know they've got to figure some things out, but the defense hasn't been the Orlando defense we've become accustomed to knowing. So that's the big question mark for me. PRAs for Jalen Duran, you can get a 23 and a 25.5 in the market right now. 24.5 seems to be like the base. I would lean under there. Absolutely lean under. There's a 25.5 -120. There's also a 24.5 -09. I'm not mad at either of those PRA unders. All right, I'm torn, but right now, pretty strong lean on the PR unders for Jalen Duran. I think we're 2 for 2 on the season on his PR unders, not PRAs. It was PRs each time. But yeah, I lean under PRs or PRAs here for Jalen Duran. Don't be surprised if I add that by the end of the card. Man, I talked about it last stream. I didn't bet it. It was plus 135. Now, the big issue is when I went to bet this, there was one book open, and then I just didn't get back to it before the game started. I would have ran this off rip, but last stream there was one book open for this line. Now at least we've got a couple. Plus 118 is the best line I'm seeing now. Man, I like Stewie to hit one today, y'all. You want to know why FanDuel doesn't hang a line? It's because they're pussy. They know he's going to hit one. 2, 3, 2, and 4. The thing is, the volume's not like through the roof, but he's attempted one in every game, two and half. I mean, it's only 4 games. I get that. Man, I like Stewie to hit a 3 at plus money. Because Jalen Duran's going to be in foul trouble, so he's going to run some with that first unit. If he's the 5 versus Wendell Carter, bro, he's hitting one. He's hitting one. This might be an added volume spot, actually. Maybe he gets 3, 4 attempts today. The thing is his minutes can depend on Jalen Duran's foul trouble, which I like this spot for that as well. I don't know. I leave Stewie's 3s as a lean. No, I'm right there, though. Jalen Suggs, we're seeing his minutes. I think he'll get closer to 22, 23 minutes tonight. I think we steadily see those improve. Probably not playing enough for me to want to bet on him now, but he's provided excellent usage while he's been on the floor. So I'm not mad at the overs. I just want to see him get closer to 28, 29, 30 minutes. And don't want to see any setbacks, although he's increased every game, 16, 19, 20, though. So I think there is some plus. Maybe he gets extended to 25 minutes tonight. And then I think there's really, like, the upside is there if you're betting Suggs. I think if you like 12, you should like 15, because if you like 12, I think you're seeing play him extended minutes again tonight. So I think maybe some ladder opportunity there from Suggs. This game's in Orlando, too. I think last year he played much better at home. Let's just verify that. Do I have it backwards? Okay, no, I have that backwards. He played much better on the road. I knew one of the two were true. I don't usually pay too much attention to that outside of maybe some rookies or some, like, vets in their last year. Moving on to, Cade. Don't let me forget Cade. Cade over 24.5, 25.5 at some books. That's a tough one. I believe Orlando figures out their defensive woes and they hold him under. He's also not gone over this line at all this season. But I don't hate the thought of Orlando's defense has not looked up to par, especially in the pick and roll. That's very true. Man, this is a question of, is Orlando as bad as they've looked, or will they improve? If Orlando looks the way that they have, I understand how you get here. If they look anything like last year defensively, I'm all over this under. So I'm torn, man. I can't play this one. It's really a question, Goya, of if Orlando is who we've seen or if Orlando is better than what we've seen. And I don't know. In my heart, I think they improve. In my head, I think they improve. I would lean under the 25.5 here. But if you went strictly off the 4 games we've watched this season, I understand how you get here. I'm going to stay off of it. I would lean under, but I see how you get there 100%. And that's why I'm not on the under, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to move on from that game, from that player, from Cade. Well, at least the points, low-key. Yeah, I'm gonna stay off of Cade completely. I'm really torn on his points, though. I'm really torn on his points. I think Orlando gets back to business, and that's a good under spot, but don't quote me on that. I'm not betting it. Also, you got Azor Thompson questionable tonight. Maybe Cade gets a little more run because they don't – who's the secondary ball handler there? Yeah, exactly. Nobody. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stay completely off of Cade. Paolo, usage seems to be the most consistent out of the 3 stars there, which, I mean, it makes sense. It really is his team, 17, 15, 21, and 18. Who will be his matchup tonight? Tobias, how did he do last year versus Detroit? 29 and 32 in the last 2. If Thompson's healthy, they could go Thompson there, Tobias on Franz. Detroit's fouling a bunch, which we all have already known. I think that's a good recipe for Paolo to get going in this one. 24.5 seems like a pretty fair line. Let's go look around the market. Points. Paolo. 24 is painted. 24 is painted. Shout out to all the likes and the retweets. I appreciate y'all. Jason, which is Jay Bird, Tim Major, appreciate you. Night Fox, appreciate y'all. Appreciate each and every one of you, man. Shit. I do lean over Paolo here. Ron Holland points. Azor and Levert both questionable. Man, there's a lot of value there. There's a lot of upside on anything Ron Holland's tonight. Actually, I don't even see lines up, though. Let me give this a refresh, but there might not even be lines up yet. Yeah, I don't see nothing up. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Nah, there's no lines up. Definitely a sneak spot to watch, though, later in the day. A lot of those secondary players you have to bet in the NBA later in the day just because lines won't be up. Books won't put up secondary lines until they know what's going with the starters, and you can't blame them for that. Moving on from Paolo, nothing official there. I think he is in a good spot, though. I don't hate – I mean, 24.5 feels fair. I lean under this 7.5, but it's because the price is crazy. Yeah. Oh, you got him at DK at 10.5. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that over. A lot of plus side there. A lot of plus side there. $10, $10, $10, $9, $18, and $10, $9, $8, $8, $3. What's funny is I tried to bet his assists over, Tobias assists over last game, couldn't find a line. They would have took my bread if they would have hung that. I saw 2.5 advertised, but there were very few books, not like today where everybody's got it. I don't know if there was injury concern in that game, but they saved me bread. They should have hung that line. I'd have donated for sure. Man, I mean, this is all about what Orlando's going to be. Here we go. No leans for Tobias. No leans. Lean is under. Lean is under. But you can see here. I mean, this is not what you expected out of Orlando coming into the season. So I don't know. Franz 24, 27, 17, and 22. I want to know who's going to get the matchup from Azor Thompson, better defender than Tobias Harris. Whichever one of those two players, Franz or Paolo, is going to have the better game. I've been thinking about taking this show to Spaces. So we could get some more speakers up here, and it would give me some more time to circle back and see how they matched up versus them last year. I understand it's different teams, but I don't have as much time to do that live, which is why I go back and add a lot of shit post stream. I want to go back and see how Orlando matched up last year, because they had similar lineups, and see who matched up on who. And I would lean towards. To me, it looks like Franz is going to get the more difficult matchup. So, I like that Paolo at 24.5. Keep in mind, Azor Thompson's questionable too, so that's going to change a lot of things defensively for Detroit. Going to have nothing in this game. We got some big question marks. Is he out? Just out? I think the last time before I refreshed this, it was game time decision. Do we have any Thompson news while we've been on stream? Koulibaly's back. No, Azor Thompson was present at shoot around, so I'm going to lean in towards he's going. Karis LeVert still questionable as well. So those are questionables, not necessarily outs. Yeah, we're going to move on from the Orlando-Detroit game. Nothing official in it. I might be willing to climb the ladder here. Pardon me. I don't even hate this up to minus 145 straight. Hold on. Tell me somebody has an alt 1.5 minus 125. Everybody go search for that. If you see it, at me, please. Looking right now. Oh, wait. You know what? I know how to see this. One second here. Searching these alt lines. Second here. It looks like MGM2 Plus might be there. If so, that's a smack. Looks like MGM2 Plus might be there. MGM Sports. At MGM Sports. Atlanta versus the Nets. 8.5 spread. This one could get ugly, but we're hoping he hits 2 before it gets ugly. Got it in there. All right, I'm going 125 on that, and then we're going to climb. I'm going 125 on that, and then we're going to climb. All right, now we go up. Let me see. What's the best 3 plus? 3 plus is 240. 3 plus is 240. I got MGM at 240 as well. FanDuel's at 215. That's good to go too. Going quarter unit there. I'm going quarter unit there. I've got a 4 plus at 650. Got a 4 plus at 650. Nope, we stopping at 3. We're stopping at 3. I'm stopping at 3. I love that spot. I love that spot. I love that spot. Love that as a ladder spot. Love that as a ladder spot. All right, we move. Not a necessarily big lineup for Atlanta. Nothing for me on Claxton, though. Did Okongwu start the last game? No, they went Porzingis, Johnson, Ricochet, Daniels, Young. I think that's what they do again today. Still had 29 minutes, though. What was the score of that game? It was rather close, okay. Reeves, we'll definitely go over Reeves. Onyeka PRAs. Well, I'm going over Onyeka right now. He's had more minutes in both games that he's played versus with Porzingis. Still think 29 minutes is a good number. I'm not mad at anything. Let me go look around here. I would like to let a few more books open. There's not a lot of books open on his PRA line, but I'm not mad at it. Lines aren't super available yet. Still feel like you're almost betting openers there. But if you have a book open, I'm cool with the overs because as more and more books open, I'm probably going to end up on an Okongwu over myself. Lean over here. No FanDuel, no DraftKings, no Rivers. We're still waiting on some books to pop up. But I do lean over there. That price is just crazy. I think Brooklyn allows a fuckload of assists, but that price is just crazy. 25th to point guards. I mean, near the top of the league. Nothing for me on Trey. I can't bring myself to bet that under, but Joe Flacco, hold up, we got news. Joe Flacco won't practice Wednesday. I'm more worried about the basketball news. Nothing new in basketball. Okay. Nothing for me on Trey. I mean, I might be really strong under this under points. PRA unders worry me because he could have 15 assists again. Not mad at a PR under. They're going to allow more long rebounds this year because they're going to allow more deep threes. Only 6 in attempts allowed. When I'm saying that, I mean Brooklyn's going to shoot more of their own. I think I'm just going to run the points. I'm staying away from the PRAs. There's a 26.5 PRs that I'm not too upset with either. He's under that in every game. (24, 28, 30, and 30). That was 2 years ago. I mean, he was really cooking on low volume, too, in some of those games. I still lean under his points, though. Second fewest points allowed per game this season to pick-and-roll ball handlers. What are they from above the break? I got to go to the mobile app. Mid-range, mid 14th in the league. I think I got to run a Trae Young under his points right here. 110, 118, 115. Every book is playable. Literally every book is playable. Trae under threes. I like the threes a little bit less. He is under in every game this year. He took 10 last game and only made 1. Honestly, he's a better shooter than this. I think he's due a little bit of three-point regression, but I still think our points are fine. I think Jalen Johnson is going to be in a much better points. We're going to go look at Jalen Johnson right after this. All right, got that bet, got that out. Michael Porter, 12, 31, 15, and 18, 7, 10, 9, and 4 on his three-point attempts, 15, 22, 15, and 13 on his three-point attempts. Keep in mind they did just get whopped versus Houston, so everything was a little down because his minutes were down. Okay, so his assist line's already bumped a little bit. We'll definitely spend more time on Jalen Johnson. I don't like the price on MPJ, but I do think the volume could be there. That's about the only lean I have. Maybe slightly under on his points, but I do think the volume could be there. So nothing official there. Jalen Johnson, I think, is interesting. Hilariously, he had the worst games versus Brooklyn last year, but I mean, I think Brooklyn will do more to get the ball out of Trae's hands. 17 assists last night, 21 points, or last game. Potential's 15, 7, 10. Average is probably right around where it should be. Slightly up from last year. That makes sense to me. 13, 10, and 18 on the field goal attempts. I think this is a good spot for attempts. We're finally getting into that part of the year where you're using this year and last year and really starting to get conclusions about players. And, this is one of the first reads I can think of this year where I can just feel confident in how this team's going to play. And what's funny about Atlanta, Jalen Johnson's missed a game. Kristaps has missed 2. But maybe that even helps. I feel like I'm starting to get a good read on Atlanta. I think Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn will force the ball out of Trey's hands, which will lead to easy baskets for Jalen Johnson, and then dump offs, which would be a hockey assist for Trey. I like Jalen Johnson a lot today. I agree that line's kind of crazy. Let's do some shopping. Mm-hmm. No alts out yet for that game. Okay. Four different 22.5 overs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 different 23.5 overs. Market's pretty split right now. I do like the 22.5 overs. No alts out yet, but they'll be there. If I had to alt it, I would just go. If I couldn't get the PAs, I'd just go the straight points at 18, I think. Jalen Johnson. I really like the 22.5 PAs, and the market's pretty split, but it looks like it's going up. FanDuel's 23.5 minus 02, so they don't even want to be there. If they would drop down to 22.5 again, I'd be fine releasing this. I think they will. They're minus 130 to the under. All right, I'm playing this. If you can't get this right now, I really think we see 22.5, like 125, probably before stream. I'm going to keep an eye on this. If you don't have MGM Hard Rock Fanatics or well, I thought there was one other one. Oh, that's a DFS site, Sleeper. So we've got Hard Rock, MGM, Fanatics, 22.5. We've got FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN. We've got Caesars not open, or at least not showing me. Let's go see if Caesars is open. Enter the code, yada, yada, NBA. Hawks, yes, stay in Maryland. Combos, points and assists. 23.5 there. The PRA number is more painted, but I'm worried about those boards, y'all. I really like the PAs. I just hate that this is a split line. Just hate that it's a split line. I got to run it, though. I'm a better first at the end of the day. Yeah, that one's good to 23.5, 110, in all honesty. I really like Jalen Johnson today. Whether it's points or assists, it might be 15 and 8. It might be 20 and 4. I don't know what it is, but I love the over 22. The 23.5 is good to go as well. Ricochet is back. Only played 2 games, 16 and 2. I'm not sure I could get a good read off of him. What we know about Cam is he's going to chuck 2 games with reduced minutes. He didn't go over. 2 games with full minutes. He scored 40. Let's talk about Atlanta's defense. Really good from above the break. Really, their only weakness is inside the restricted area, which is where Cam Thomas is not scoring a lot of his points. Could be a good spot for a Cam under. What worries me is the volume is going to be there. 11 and 12 3-point attempts in those games, 24 and 25 field goal attempts. I I lean under Cam Thomas, but the just willingness to chuck from him worries me off of this. And honestly, Trey's not a good defender, so it's not like he's going up against a really good defender. Just going to stay completely off of Cam. No, actually closed the last game. 30 minutes. I'm not mad at any no. 12.5. That number's painted. I lean over here. I did say I had a good feel on Atlanta. I want to see what his minutes are again tonight. If the Nets can keep this one competitive. I do lean over, though, his points. Dyson Daniels, just a dog on the defensive end. That's about it, though. That 2.5 line is probably fair. Moving on from Atlanta, Brooklyn. Oh, let me add to the banner there as well. We added one more. Oh, we added 2 more. I'm all over this game. That's right. We bet Trae Young under 23.5 in this one as well. Although I do think these all kind of play right into each other. Biggest concern there would be Atlanta blowing the shit out of them, which is possible. Did I move on? Yeah, okay. Moving on to Sacramento versus Chicago. Sacks off a back-to-back, right? Yeah, they played last night. Sabonis had a bunch of boards. 18 rebounds. I think he had – I don't think this is updated yet from last night. I think he had like 30 rebound chances or some crazy shit. Going up against Chicago. What's the injury report here? Nothing new. Back-to-back. Going up against Vooch. Chicago is the worst team in the league in the restricted area. That's why this number is 17.5 when he scored 12, 10, and 10. They're allowing the most points in the restricted area. Is Sacramento still trash? Well, they're first in threes allowed from above the break this season. Not a shooter, not a shooter. Shooter didn't get any. Stewie got, oh, that's last year even. Okay. Riviera got 2 for the Lakers. Kyle had 2. I remember speaking on that game. I don't hate a Vooch 3 here. Sabonis helps down. Vooch catches one. I'm not mad at over 1.5 threes. Not official. Rebounds are really hard to take in this matchup. That's why this line you're getting at a discounted price because Sabonis is just smashing the boards. So nothing for me on Vooch either. Giddey, I think, is interesting. Just as like a PR play with the upside. You're getting a really high line compared to what he's done this season. Not a really high line. 35.5. The assists are kind of wilding. Rebound chances should go down versus Sac. Took him early in a fantasy basketball league, hoping that he delivers for me tonight. Not super sold on anything, Giddey. But I think there's upside on the PRAs here. Westbrook, 30 points last night versus OKC. Or I'm sorry, 30 minutes. 16 points. I think he finished with 9 and 4. Okay, I thought he was around 9 and 8, but 9 and 4. He also hit his first 2 threes. Ended up going 4 for 8 last night. 2 threes out of the corner off rip. Now, keep in mind that is exactly what they needed from him versus OKC, who allows a lot of corner threes. Don't know if he replicates the threes tonight versus a team who's not allowing many. Okay, yeah, I was going to say I would actually be interested in that under, but 150 is probably close to right. Hard to pin Westbrook's minutes. 18, 17, 27, then 30. He is an older guy. Now they're on a back-to-back. Maybe he got more run versus the OKC, less run tonight. I don't know that to be fact. It is going to be their third game in 4 days. So they're in a pretty tough spot. Yeah, no opinions on Westbrook. No opinions on Westbrook. Honestly, Schroeder's looked good. A little bit of a drop-off on his points last night versus OKC, but you saw Westbrook got the nod. Schroeder still played 31 minutes. If I knew Schroeder was coming off the bench tonight, bro, I would run his PRAs under, even at 31, 32 minutes, I think. Let's go look at the lineups again real quick. Dennis, Westbrook, Levine, DeRozan, Sabonis. Okay, he's not coming off the bench. That's on me. Still, though, I lean under PRAs here for Schroeder. I think it's a difficult matchup for him. I lean under Schroeder's PRAs. DeMar, 19 last night, coming off of a back-to-back. 14 attempts, right around his average of 15 and a half. I don't think there's a lot of bad blood here. Line just feels efficient. Line just feels efficient to me. Oh man, I might I might be on Buzelis today though. I might be on. I know it's like asking for pain again. He already sold us once this year. Is this a good get right spot right here though? I think it might be. I think it might be. Shout outs to all the likes and retweets. I appreciate y'all, man. Very much appreciate y'all. Points are at 16 and a half. Assists are at just 1.5. PAs are at 18 and a half. Painted. Over in 2 or 3 this year. Maybe I like his assists a little better. Even money. 6 and 4. Just the 12 minutes, though. That's the. Damn, I like Buzelis overs. Jokic over RAs. We're going to talk about that one later. I actually like all of Jokic's overs. That spread just scares the fuck out of me. I do like Jokic overs. Am I running Buzelis right now at 16 and a half? Basically painted. There's a 15 and a half, 140, and a 17 out there. So this one's pretty painted. I'm leaving Buzelis as a lean right now, but it's close. Levine is probably my favorite over on the Sacramento side of the ball in terms of points. He gets a boatload out of transition. Chicago still allows a lot out of transition. They are good from above the break, however, which is where, Zach's put in a bunch of threes. What's that line at? 2.5. Juice to the under or the over. I think if he gets 3, he gets 23. I think the half court will be the biggest issue. He's probably good for like 8 or 10 in transition. What do we think about Zach LaVine overs? I like his points way better than his threes because of the price. 22.5 painted, basically. I like him. I like Mataz on the other side of the ball. Minutes have been there. Just 13 field goal attempts versus OKC. Different defensive matchup, though. Although Chicago has not allowed a lot out of the pick and roll. I guess Okoro will start there. I'm going to have to wait for lineups. I'm going to have to wait for lineups in this Sacramento game. I've got some interest in Zach LaVine's over, though. Indy versus Dallas. What's the spread on this one, dog? I mean, I'm almost afraid to play it. Indy is so hurt. Like, I'm losing track of who's there. They got Mac McClung playing in this motherfucker. They got 10 active guys tonight. Like, what is the spread in this game? Dallas is a 6-point favorite, and they should be so ashamed of themselves trotting out a G League team. D'Lo needs more run. Almost 30 minutes in back-to-back. They need a true playmaker. He had 10 assists versus OKC. I think that'll help them turn it around. They need D'Lo on the floor more. I have no clue what to like. Benedict Matherin's out. Low-key, I don't have a read on this game because I don't know this Indy team. Like, I'm moving on. I'm sorry. I believe Utah's on a back-to-back, aren't they? No, I'm tripping. They're coming off a 1 day's rest. Okay. I know Homeboy had a 50 piece, but I lean over Walker Kessler PRs in this matchup. I can't play Dallas without Maxey's threes. Maxey's threes should be a good spot there. Wow, over in every game this year. 26, 29, 26, 31. Price is crazy, but I'm not even mad at that at plus 200. Former Laker. Moving on though, that's not one for me. That's not an official play. I don't got anything in that one. Portland, Utah feels similar to me. Maybe Sharp. I feel like Sharp's played well. 21.5 points. That line seems to be quite high. What's the injury news here in Portland? Nurkic day-to-day. Thibault, game-time decision. Murray, game-time decision. Scoots out. What's going on with Collier? I thought he'd be back by now. At the beginning of the season, I thought he was day-to-day. I want to bet on him again. He was a wagon for a short little minute last year. Marking in at 22.5. Okay, so this is basically 23.5. FanDuel's the only 22 at 130. I lean over Lauri Markkanen in threes. I do lean over. Denny Avdia, 26, 23, 25. I'm not mad at this one either. I did not realize Utah. I mean, it makes sense with Walker Kessler's playing so well in the restricted area. Probably nothing for me in that game either, though. We've been in this bad boy about an hour. Let's try to bust through these games here. Hour 25. I like betting on both of these George boys, Keontae and Kaishan. They've both just been buckets this season. Oh my God, is this plus 300 still? Can we just sprinkle Keontae George double-double until what's-his-face comes back? Collier. What are they being Portland in assists allowed per game? Line 7.5. They're 7th in assists allowed. Very small sample size, though. Let's go look at it some other guards have done. Harden really had 1 assist. Oh, this is double-doubles. Okay, I was about to lose my fucking mind. Reeves 6. Harden had 13. Didn't get there with the points. That's funny. I mean, this is worth a quarter unit. The only question is 10 plus assists better for some ungodly reason? Plus 278. No, it's not. Bryce Sensaball's threes. So I think Toronto is like fucking very good from above the break. Yeah, they've allowed the second fewest points from above the break this season. They do suck in the corners, but Bryce doesn't have many buckets in the corners this season. So threes worry me in this game. They're running people off the line. Small sample size, so we could see that change. But for now, threes worry me in this one. Kaishan George assists over and double-double are probably my 2 closest leans in this one. They are 7th in assists allowed, but I just think there's some – at plus 300, there's value there, I think. That'll probably be on a lottery slip. I don't bet a lot of rookies. I know there's hype around Ace Bailey. Minutes are just very low, though. So, I mean, there's nothing on Ace, in my opinion. I don't have anything on Sharp. I might have saw 1 or 2 things on the timeline. I can't even remember, but maybe. This game, I'm not even going to say a lot, man, but Jokic has tore them up head-to-head. The biggest thing that worries me here is a blowout, but he has just smoked them on the head-to-head, and there's no stopping him this year either. They just don't have the big to do it. It's just – or the Nuggets going to blow them out in the first quarter. It looks like this line's dropped from 49.5 to 48.5 anyways, so it looks like it's coming down. I went through this game earlier. It's a 12-point spread. I mean, I'm not mad at a Zion points over either. 28 in his last matchup versus Denver. Is this right? He's only played 2 games this year. 27 and 27 in each of them. He's technically questionable. Cam Johnson's questionable. So you just got to wait and see. There's nothing for me in that game. Lakers versus Minnesota, both pretty 2 banged-up teams. Austin Reeves lines at 29.5 on his points, 7.5 on his assists, 3.5 on his three-pointers made. You can see the usage here when Luka goes down. No Luka, no LeBron. It's over 30%. Randall going to have to step up with Reeves being out. Where is this game? Is it back? Remember, he started in LA. I don't think there's necessarily any bad blood, but this game's in Minnesota. Everyone brings their A game versus the Lakers. Minnesota's a 7.5 to 8-point favorite in this one. I would love to say I think Ayton's going to do well. He played really well versus Sabonis. He already played Minnesota this year, 15-8. held Rudy to like next to nothing, but now held Rudy to 2, but now Ant's out, but low key. Can I trust my money with fucking DeAndre Ayton? $22.5 minus 118 at FanDuel, minus 115 at ESPN. Every single book's at 22.5. I'm running it. PRs. I'm not going PRAs. My apologies. I'm just going. I don't think there's any value in the PRAs. Or added value is what I should say. I don't think there's added value. And everyone's open on the PRs, so it makes it easier. 115 at ESPN. Play it wherever you like. All books are good to go. Shop around for your best out. Let me get that in, get that out. We're good to go. Points, rebounds, over, under. I'm in the wrong game. Memphis, Phoenix now. I want LA versus Minnesota. Player combos. PRs, over, under. Gobert 22.5, 115. Got it. All right, let me add that to the banner and then. Yo, what's up, bro? Appreciate you tapping in. Been a little while. John, I don't hate your thought there with Filipowski's threes. I'll circle back at the end of stream and check that out in the Utah game. I'm not mad at that. Yo, bro, appreciate you tapping in. Got another one here to the banner. That's it. We move. Anything else in this game that's calling my name? I more trust Gobert's under than Ayton's overs. This one is interesting. Lean over Nas Reed, 13.5. Looks like the line's more painted at 14. FanDuel's at 13. I like that that's how Props.Cash is displaying it now. Very good. FanDuel is the sharpest. Prop specific. I feel it, bro. I'll be trying to get on these spaces with my boys, but that game last night started at 11. I'm not in bed till 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then there's spaces at 9 a.m. It's like, y'all ever sleep? I lean over Rui's points. I really do. Or, I'm sorry, Anthony Edwards. Nope. Julius Randle. There we go. I don't hate that 133. Attempts have not been as. This one, 15.5, 14.5, pretty split, but the 14s are fairly juicy. Looks like DK 14 minus 114, though, is interesting. Seven of his last 8 without LeBron and Luka. Now, one of those was 9 versus Minnesota. Keep that in mind. I lean over Rui there. I guess Jaden McDaniels will start on Reeves. He cooked the Lakers last year at one point. I think it was a playoff game. 30 ball, disgusting. Volume on his three-point attempts have been there, but that line's crazy. Lakers will leak some threes, but that line's crazy. Just the one play for me there, Rudy Gobert's unders. Last game, Memphis-Phoenix. Let's talk about the spread. Memphis is a 1.5-point favorite. Let's talk about the injury report. Jerome out, Aldama out, Pippen out, Clark out, Williams out, Edey out. Jalen Green might be back for Phoenix. I did see that first game of the season. Then Dylan Brooks out with that hamstring. Not mad at it's been a cash cow. Let's see where it's at tonight. It's at 3.5. The 2.5 days are over here. It was fun while it lasted. I think we got it twice. 3.5 is just where that line should be. So that edge is gone. It's fun while it lasted. A lot of question marks here for Memphis tonight. That defense is just bad everywhere too. That's why that number's inflated. I can't play any unders there. Ja broke 30 minutes for the first time last game, now coming off of a day's rest. If this game stays competitive, I think we can start to slowly see that rise. I think there's some value on the 32.5 PAs here. Phoenix defense is really bad. I think there's some value there. And then Devin Booker has just been a question mark. Usage has stayed steady, but now we get Jalen Green back possibly. Is that going to affect? I still think he's got to take – does that say 28 potential assists last game? Jesus, Lord have mercy. 12 three-point attempts. I think he's probably – where's his average at? 17, 26 last game. Let me go see about Jalen Green. They've got him in the starting lineup like he's going to play. Nothing for Devin Booker. Let's see how he and Jalen Green mesh. I don't think it could be bad for his assists, and another scorer on the court may not always be the worst thing either. So I think he probably stays right around 28, 29 to 30 points scored per night. Memphis plays with a lot of pace. We know that. So no reads in this game. I think we're going to call it there. We're about an hour and a half in, hour and 40 in. Got a few plays. I'm sure there'll be additions as the day goes on. Oh, shit, what happened? I'm sure there'll be additions as the day goes on, and I'll add those. And then for tomorrow, there's going to be a spaces mixed in. I think what I'm going to do is go live still at noon, go through the slate, and then do my own spaces around 6 or 7 p.m., depending on when games start. Today it starts at 6:30. About a half an hour. I don't hate the sprinkle it plus money. I don't hate the 4+. And then I'll do a spaces for any late additions. Shout out Sosa for the like, for the retweet. Help me grow the brand. Help me grow the page. Appreciate each and every one of you that liked and retweeted today. Appreciate every single one that tapped it in on X, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. YouTube, we've got 5, so appreciate y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Real quick, I'm going to go through everything that I have, maybe give you guys a few of the leans that I have, and we'll call it a day. My favorite play by far today, Evan Mobley over 31.5 PRAs. If you got to take – one second here. If you've got to take the 32.5 PRAs, I'm all fine with that as well. My second favorite play, though, I do love Porzingis 2+3s, specifically if you can get that minus 125. And then I really like him up to 3+ as well. I took that for a quarter unit. Trae Young under 23.5 points. Really like this spot. Still blitzing in Brooklyn. He has had good history versus Brooklyn, but I think today players like Porzingis and Jalen Johnson are going to shine. Bringing me to my last play in that game, Jalen Johnson over 22.5 PAs, 23.5 is fine here. I think we see Trey get the ball out of his hands a lot, whether that leads to Jalen Johnson buckets or secondary assists. I think we see a bunch of each. Then my final play, Rudy Gobert under 22.5 points and rebounds, -115. That line was pretty painted. There's going to be no shopping around there. Look for the best odds, but every book was about 22.5. All right. That's all I got for today. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Best of luck tonight. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Until then, let's go.